Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special Saturday weekly going on. I actually can't sleep. It's about 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have either too much caffeine in me, or I think the Dominoes that I ate today when I was playing board games with the coworkers isn't sitting well for me. I have some sort of acid reflux thing going on, which has never happened to me a day in my life. So here we are. I figured what a better time to do a live stream, and we could go ahead and hopefully get some of the subscribers that we normally don't get that might be in a different part of the world. Although I am surprised to see the average Joe, David Yang, iPunk Pancakes. We got some of the OGs in here today. So here we go. Sorry guys. The microphone went down for a second. But I was just saying, welcome to 30. Your body starts rejecting the food and drink you get. Yeah. And I believe that, man. You're messing with Star Wars API? Nice, man. That's the type of stuff that I tell you guys to look into. And let me turn this up a little bit. So I'm not going to be talking as loud as I normally do just because it's late. But that's the type of stuff I tell you guys to do is start a project, something that would be fun that you're interested in. If it's Star Wars, man, there's plenty of people who would respect a Star Wars project and everything else. I'm also getting over. So one of the things that I've been realizing is that I need to change something in my life. I talked about this last few things, and one of the things I'll be focusing on is my health, and that's going to start by eliminating energy drinks. I kind of been slipping the last month. I've been drinking a ton of energy drinks. It's been fucking my sleep schedule up, and I'm also going to start exercising. I've been taking my vitamins and fiber and stuff like that. So I started the process, but we haven't completely dived in. So for the most part, I am a pretty healthy individual, just not as much as I want to be. And exercising again. So those are the big ones. And I think that will help me in my career. I'll be able to focus more and continue on from there. Diet Mountain Dew is killing you. So minus the energy drinks, I've given up all carbonated beverages. So I don't really drink soda. I haven't for many years. I'll occasionally have one here or there, but I don't keep it in the house. And ugh. I saw that NASA makes their APIs available, but you got to get a key. I don't want to build something and post it on GitHub with my personal key. Any ideas how to get around that? Yeah, so what you would do is create a secrets file, and you wouldn't commit that when you go and post your project. And then you would reference that key. You would like import the key from that secrets file. And so although your code wouldn't run on a CodePen, you could just put a comment, go get your API key, and store in a secrets file. That's usually how you would do it. Some dude just got his head caved in by some energy drink. That clickbait article has nothing to do with energy drinks, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Hey Dylan, I'm recently set up a technical interview for Hack Reactor. I'm blazing through their prep course, around 160 challenges in 2 days. Do you think I have a good shot? Any advice? I don't know. too much about Hack Reactor other than it's a hard school to get into. I think regardless if you get into it or don't get into it, you'll be a better developer just going through their prep work. And you can probably try again if you have your heart set on Hack Reactor. Fasting? No, I don't. I'm not down not to eat. I'll be honest with you. So, yeah, I'm not down with that at all. But I would say in terms of it, if already what you're doing is preparing, I mean, you're already doing it, right? You're studying. They give you prep work for their entry program. If you're doing that and you finish it, study something else that you think would be helpful. How can I make myself addicted to coding? I don't know. A lot of it for me was giving up bad habits. Some things like gaming, I gave up for quite some time. I really don't even play anymore. I'm not necessarily trying to lose weight, for the record. I'm just trying to be healthier. My health is definitely slipped. Although I am in the worst shape of my life, I have not really gained any weight. It's just my muscle has turned to fat. So let's see here. What other boot camps would you recommend? It really depends on where you're at in your life and what you want to do. But I can say that for me, having met the people at Dev Mountain, even though they're no longer a sponsor, and seeing their program and seeing the questions they were asked and being on one of their campuses, I can really recommend their program. And I think they're doing an excellent job for their web development program. And I've interviewed quite a few developers from there, and all of them seem to be doing quite well. Have you tried any programming at blockchain? It's so funny that you asked that, Mark. I actually just went out of curiosity to see what the salaries were for blockchain. And I bought the Academine course on Angular 4, and it's 26 hours of content, which means that if I put in, let's just say I put in 2 hours a day, it would take me, what was that, 13 days? But then again, you're not going at full speed. So it'll probably take me a full month to finish that course. I want to finish that course to be a better Angular developer at my work. And then I am diving fully into JavaScript. I want to become my current goals right now is to become a better JavaScript developer over the next 6 months. That's really what it is. I want to sort of deep dive. I've used the term master because I don't really think you can ever master these things. So I want to, instead of being a sort of a generalist, I want to dive more into being a front-end specialist. And that's going to take I want to get specifically better at JavaScript, at CSS, and master a few things. Quote unquote, master a few things. But then I am diving into blockchain 100%. There's just too many jobs. It is just too high paying. It is just such a good skill to pick up, even if I don't want to go anywhere. Just having that skill set for the future to future-proof myself. And mind you, I'm a self-taught developer. I don't have a CS degree. I don't have a master's degree. And I think about going back to school all the time, but mainly because not that I need help getting junior or eventually senior level roles. It's to get roles beyond that, to get tech lead roles, to get architect roles. In that instance, I really will probably need a bachelor's at the very least. Not always the case, but it's definitely going to help. But if I go and choose to study how blockchain works, it can change a lot of things. Have you looked at what tech stack they're using for blockchain jobs? It really depends. It's all over the place. But I mean, there's even JavaScript blockchains. There's a lot. I see a lot of Python and I see a lot of Java. But really, it's just out of an interest thing. I'm not looking for a job. I'm very happy at where I'm at, but I like to stay on top of the market and see what's going on. So that would probably be what I would dive into next. if as because people are always saying, well, are you ever getting sick of web development? Not really, to be honest with you, because there's so much to do. I kind of say this about front end development specifically compared to back end development. Back end development to me, and I say this as someone who has done both. Back end development is really about two things. It's about your database, so how you're storing that data, and how you route data to that database, to and from. And in the front end, I feel like there's so many more moving parts that it's a little bit more exciting and a little bit more dynamic because of that. And it's a little bit it's just a little bit something extra, right? And that's why I really enjoy the front end specifically. For a tech lead role, do you need a CS degree specifically? No. I mean, you don't need a CS degree specifically for almost anything. But these are roles that some companies won't hire, no matter how great of a developer you are. Some companies simply will not promote you to more management positions or more. Yeah, I would consider a tech lead sort of a management position because you are overseeing other people, although it's not a traditional manager role. If you don't have a degree, it doesn't matter if you're the best developer they have. There are a lot of companies like that, and even the companies that are okay having developers without degrees, it is going to be something that scaling wise is a little bit hard. Did I take Traversity Media's Angular course? Yes. I'm 95% done with that, and I stopped. I have some bug in my project. I didn't feel like fixing it, so I stopped at 95%. But yeah, I basically took the whole course. Can't you learn the CS degree stuff from books? Yes, you can, but we all know that companies place value on that piece of paper. Whether they should and whether it matters is besides the point. April, have any luck getting a job yet? No, sadly. So if you don't have CS degree, then have you considered another degree? Yeah, I mean, personally, I say CS degree very loosely because there are web development degrees that I've been looking at just because I think it'd be a little bit more fun. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to learn too much. Most of the stuff will just be practicing for tests and studying and memorizing the bullshit that they want you to memorize, that they value and think is important, that you're not going to use on a regular basis. So so Angel says, I just started learning sys and programming with Python, and I'm super intimidated by the amount of information I have to learn. Is that normal, or am I just not meant for it? No, it's pretty normal. A lot of times people are overwhelmed, and it's kind of a snowball effect. I kind of consider it similar to math in a lot of ways, where things lead up to other things, and you have to learn terminology, and you have to learn how the working parts work together, right? When you started learning math, it may have seemed very strange when you're adding numbers, and then you slowly understood numbers, and let's say that's what a variable is. And then you had, oh, well, now I have to multiply numbers. I took that up, and I'm solving these problems using these equations. And then now you're learning about equations that solve other equations, and you're learning about algebra and trigonometry and geometry, and you're learning calculus, and it's a scaling thing. And the things that were hard are now easy because they're concepts that you've used regularly. But a lot of times when you're learning, you don't really realize that this stuff does scale, and it's a very software is a very interesting thing because it's hard to scale it naturally past the bare bone basics. And a lot of times you have to dive. That's why I tell people just build stuff, and you'll sort of figure out the learning path by what you want to build. But yeah, a lot of people are intimidated and they don't know what direction to go, and they never go any direction, which is the problem. Why would one learn web development for why would one learn Python for web development versus JavaScript? I don't know, other than database stuff and specifically for data analytics. There is a lot of Python in data analytics applications, so it kind of depends. Although, in my opinion, JavaScript is greater than everything. I hate the equations that are missing variables. Yeah. Maybe I should do some math videos, man. I've been applying for jobs. I haven't heard back. What would be the best way to follow up with the company so they have reviewed my application? An email. That's usually what I do. An email, just a proper email, explaining how to just saying that you're eager and if there's anything you can do to help move the process along, or if they're looking for another candidate. Usually, I have yet to have something like that work. But that would be what I would do. Can I do a video on wireframe? Oh my God, I feel so bad, Jordan. I know you've asked me this a million times, and I plan to. I just haven't quite got to it yet. You know what I should do? I should just do a wireframing video for my course, because I haven't done that yet. And I'll release it. I'll add it to my course, like the bulk of it, and I'll do another video, like actually wireframing stuff out. You hate the algorithms on FreeCodeCamp? I mean, algorithms. So for me, I start to like them, right? Some of them are really stupidly hard, right? I loved although I didn't finish the React Native degree, I loved it, and I would highly recommend it. What course? I've been building this little side project course where it's basically you're building a personal portfolio in Angular 4, which is now Angular 5, which I'll update. So that's what I've been working on. A lot of my videos are getting demonetized lately, and I'm trying to work on other ways of monetizing the channel. So yeah, there's probably no worse feeling than like every single live stream I've done lately has been demonetized. One second, guys. I have to use the gentleman's room real quick. But yeah, so it's about time that I start building some courses together. I've kind of, do I have a Udemy course? That will be what it is. But yeah, so welcome to the demonetized club, right? Why are they getting demonetized? Believe it or not, they don't tell you. They just say it's not suitable for most advertisers. I couldn't have any idea what a live stream talking about software, whatever constitute being demonetized. But it does. But yeah, so it's probably about time. I'll hit 30,000 subscribers probably in about a week, maybe 10 days. And I've yet to ever make I've yet to ever make a single course, and I think it's time. You know, if you go and look at channels that have maybe 5,000 or 10,000, you can probably find that they've built 25 courses at this point. Um, so did I watch Chris Hawk's latest video? No, I saw it. I believe you're talking about the one where he says, "Does he like being a programmer?" Um, I'm not. Why do I keep looking at the ceiling? That's where the chat is. I can move it down. Does it bother you? I have the 4 monitors and the let's see here. The second one is part of it. All right, there. It's on the same level, so it won't look too much. But no, I haven't had a chance to watch Chris's video yet. Chris Hawk looked depressed while I was watching Chris Hawk for this for a second. Yeah, I mean, I only saw the thumbnail, but he looked tired. I've known that look, and I've had that look myself before. With me being sick this last week, I've felt that way. And I'm starting to wonder if what's actually going on with me kind of trying to find what I want to do is if I've been burning out a little bit. What do I actually do at your first job? In my current job, I do front-end web development, specifically in Angular. How can you tell if a developer is about to get fired? Well, a lot of times they'll talk to you and ask you to pick up. It really depends on the workplace. In a shitty workplace, they'll just let you go. In a good workplace, they'll say, "Hey, you're not meeting our standards, and this is what you need to do to pick it up." So it kind of just depends. Chris Hawks warns about spending all your time devoted to programming. I definitely can understand that. But I'm still developing my career. I don't plan to do everything that I do now for very long. I think I can probably keep this up. So I've said this before, but I told April about 2.5 years ago that I was going to work every day for 5 years, and I have about 2 years, 2.5 left. So probably at 2020, I'll slow down. We're about 2018, so that's really when I'm going to chill out, relax for a second, and maybe take a little bit of a backseat to a few things in my life. But yeah, I can definitely understand that. But I am also not where I want to be with my career, with my finances. So do I drink decaf? I'm drinking water right now. It's decaf. Can I go into a bit more details? Well, I work for a large corporation, multinational corporation that is in the health and beauty industry. I build front-end web applications for them for in-house tools primarily, although I imagine that I will be in the future working on more client-facing tools as well, or applications. That's really what I've been working on. Do I create or maintain? Everything I've been building has been custom, start from the ground up. Although I did work with another team that had me do some bug fixes on existing stuff. But for the most part, 95% of what I do is build from the ground up. Did I ever use the Axe body spray in middle school? I used the Axe body spray for many, many years past middle school. Um, do I need JavaScript for data analysts? No, probably not. How do I learn web dev smoothly? Code every day and find a way to make it fun. Build your own projects and go from there. How do I say SQL? Just like that. Do I use PHP? Not in my current role. I'm front end in my current role. My previous role is that my previous role, I used PHP. I hated it. I tried to like it. Is that why April fell in love with you? April fell in love with me. You'd have to ask her. April asked why I love her, and I said because you love me. And apparently that's not a satisfactory answer, but I love that she loves me. Like that. I love her because she loves me. Which is not the best answer, but it is true. Um, I can count on her, and that is a good thing. She's also been the. I need to read some Cosmo. All Cosmo tells you are 69 sex techniques and how to catch your man cheating. So, and like the 60th sex technique is always putting the pinky in the bum. With, I've seen the Cosmos around the house and my sister's places and stuff, and in the check stands. It's always then some GQ. I don't know anything about GQ. Do I love myself? Yeah, man. I don't have any issues with me. I love programming more. I do love programming, but I eventually will slow down in my off hours. Do you ever create Android apps with JavaScript? No, this is something I've thought about, diving into Ionic or diving into React Native, and I don't know yet. I don't really fully know what to do. I've been debating it for quite some time. If I want to start with Angular, do I start directly with Angular 4? Yes, except now it's Angular 5. Angular got updated to 5 last week. Don't worry about that. There's not too many breaking changes in it. One of the things is animations got moved to a different folder or different package, and then the HTTP package got deprecated, and another HTTP package got added. That's basically it at the end of the day. I mean, there's other stuff, but that's. How happy are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being I wish I could start all over, and 10 being I'm awesome, and others should want to be like me. I would say normally I'm like a 9, although I've been hovering around a 7 lately, which is low for me. Part of that is I've been sick. Part of that is I think I'm getting burnt out. Part of that is just I'm trying to find that next stage of what I want to accomplish. I'm in a rhythm. It could also be, and this could be, and I don't know that this is true, but I could potentially be missing my family, which I don't think I do because I really don't do that. But it's just something to consider because this is the longest I've ever been away from my family. I think I can go a couple more years without seeing them. April misses her family though. But yeah, I would say I'm like probably around 7 right now. Working to get back to a 9 or 10. If I want to change my career now, which would be the best choice? Data science and Python or AWS DevOps? If I had to choose, I would say AWS DevOps, just because the data science and Python is going to be very hard without a degree. If you don't have a degree, if you have a degree, it won't be as hard. Both are great fields, so you really can't make a bad choice. I just think DevOps might be something for a new career you could transition easier into. Are you required to do design in your job? Do you have Photoshop files which you develop from? No. A lot of my stuff is a lot of my stuff is sometimes not wireframe. When you're working on in-house apps, in terms of uh, how it looks, a lot of times that takes a back seat. All we really care about is functionality. Um, so it's not something that I've been too worried with. And you don't usually get Photoshop files unless you're actually developing client-facing stuff or web development stuff. Web design aspects is what I'm trying to say. So no, I'll be lucky if I get a wireframe. Sometimes I do, but a lot of times you have to sort of design your own stuff, and it varies by organization. Sounds like you need to get some more sunlight if you're a bit down, feeling under the way. I definitely probably do, to be honest with you. And that's one of the things. That's one of the things that I am working on. Uh, yes, exercise is something that's coming into the picture. Uh, would I do any AWS training videos for any kind of AWS certification? I wouldn't have to. What camera do I use for my regular videos? Just my webcam, same one I'm using right now, the C920, I think. Uh, Although I've been thinking about upgrading to like a legit camera. Um, I don't know. Do you guys think I need to? Does it bother you the quality of the camera in the videos? Because I could upgrade to like a 4K camera, like actual camera, and not a webcam. Um, okay, yeah. I mean that's what I thought. Quality of what I present was what I like. There you go. I like that. I need a try hard camera. So the regular videos are slightly higher def. Um, for a couple of reasons. One, they are the Google Hangouts records in 720p, and actually, so you're getting 720p instead of 1080p. That's one reason. How much jQuery do you use on a daily basis versus Vanilla JS? Zero jQuery. I do everything in Angular and JavaScript. Is there any way to reach out to you directly if we get stuck in any kind of program on any kind of programming problems? I offer tutoring and mentoring for $90 an hour. So if that's something you're interested in, I'm happy to make myself available, but it is costly by most people's standards. Um, but otherwise, I'd be reviewing your guys' projects, answering your questions, and solving your bugs for a living for free. Any video games I'm playing? No, although, see, the thing right now that I'm having an issue with is trying to. How can I put this? I have issues right now spending my time on stuff that's not productive. And I think I need to just to sort of relax for a bit. Um, and video games are not productive for the most part. But I do have the Super Nintendo Classic that I play a little bit here or there. I do want to get the new Call of Duty, but none of my coworkers want to get it on PS4, so I got no one to play with. They're all PC gamers because they're developers. They have those systems, but they actually just get games on PC and get the console only games. I like playing on consoles. That's my shit. Do you ever use funky stuff like observables? Yes, all the time. I'm surprised there's so many people on right now. It's 1:30 a.m. Just go watch Full Metal Alchemist. I've seen Full Metal Alchemist so many times. Although I tell you right now on Netflix, I'm watching an episode or two a day with April of the new Fate series that went on there. Not in California, 10 thing. That's a good point. Stop being so productive. I will in 2.5 years. Can I tell you the best project I worked on? What technology is it in? I'll tell you my favorite project I worked on, where I built a report, a reporting, basically a dynamic reporting project in Angular JS and PHP in my last work, where we would take the data from the database. You'd select what report you wanted, and then based off that report, you have multiple filters, and you could filter the report down, and then it would auto-generate a report that would display the data in tables, pie charts, bar charts, and then export to a PDF. That was probably my favorite thing that I built. That was a lot of fun. Is the Fate series any good? It's all right. It's not like the first one or two. It's all right. I think I've seen four now. I just watch so much anime. That's probably the only thing I watch. But I would say it's worth watching if you're just trying to kill some time. Uh, what tech/programming language you think will grow a lot in the next 10 years? I think anything blockchain related. So whatever skills and technology are in blockchain, I think that's kind of the current explosion going on. What did I use for the PDF export? There was some library that I used to export the PDF. Yeah, it wasn't the best library, but I was able to export the PDF, and then I had to write a custom function that checked if what I was generating was a table, checked if it was info, checked if it was a graph, and then apply a bunch of custom options through another function that both of them took in an array of objects, and they had parameters and things, and then would print it out so that it looked right and worked right. What hosting site do you recommend for your first landing site / portfolio? I've only ever used GoDaddy, but I honestly don't think it matters. Boku no Hero Academia is very good. Dragon Ball Super, I'm okay with Dragon Ball Super. I know a lot of people don't like it. It's not Dragon Ball Z, that's for sure, but it is an homage to just fans, basically. At the end of the day, they give you what you want. They just don't deliver it very well lots of times, but we still keep watching, right? So it really is fan service. I haven't caught Steins Gate yet, but I have to check it out. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I really watch other than anime is maybe some MMA when the fights go. But living on the East Coast, the main events cards don't start by 10, and I'm out usually by 11 at the latest. Sometimes I wonder if Dragon Ball Z was that good or I was just a kid. Go back and watch Dragon Ball Kai, and you'll see. Whether you think it was that good or not, I promise you it's better than Dragon Ball Super. So what about One Piece? I've tried like on 3 separate occasions to watch One Piece, and I get about 10 or 15 episodes in, and I call it a day every single time. I'd like to, just because there's 800 episodes, and it seems like if it's that great of an anime, the last UFC event was pretty amazing. One Punch, yeah, I've seen One Punch Man. One Punch Man's so great. Have I watched Stranger Things? Another show that I couldn't really get into. I watched like 4 episodes. I actually watched that with Engineered Truth. We were back at the Airbnb when him and I were in Utah, and we caught a couple episodes then. And then I think it was the 3rd episode, we're like, let's just go walk around town. This sucks. I see you have a lot of code fight videos, and they are really good. How many hours do you need to code every day to come to your level of code expertise? That's always a very interesting question, because I honestly don't know how I rank amongst other developers. I think I'm a decent developer, and I've had some other developers tell me that they think I'm at a senior level. But I don't really know, because a lot of times people may just be being nice. I can tell you that I have about 1.1 years of relevant resume experience, and then I have about a year of experience before that in the field. Stick to One Piece, I won't be disappointed. Just tell me, how many episodes do I have to get in before I'll get hooked? Is it like I have to be 150 in? Because if that's the case, I don't watch 150 bad episodes. But if it's 25 or 35 and it was just about to start popping off, maybe. Have I watched Better Call Saul? No. Although I did catch like 5 episodes, because my dad watched TV when he came down here, and he streamed like the entire 2nd season. I caught some of that. It's probably the most television I watched in one sitting, to be honest, in the last year or 2. 35 and gonna fall in love. All right. Yeah, I don't know. There's a great short like 5 episode series on Netflix called like New Yokio. I highly recommend it. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's basically a psychic in this New York setting, and he's like really into fashion, high fashion, and it's a comedy, sort of robotic one. Anyhow, it's very interesting. It's definitely different than your traditional anime, but if you guys have Netflix, I highly encourage you to watch it. You'll be hooked after the first episode. That's the worst anime I've ever seen. Oh my god, get out of here, man! That was so much fun. It was a fun anime. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Yeah, the Toblerone. Are you kidding me? I loved everything about that anime. It wasn't that cringy. Oh man, it was great. I loved it. April and I watched it together. Oh man. Yeah, Neo Yokio was dope, man. Are computer programmers respected enough? What do you think? I think for the most part, yeah. Um, I mean, it's a respected career, that's for sure. So who is disrespecting it? Are you saying within organizations, within companies? Um, Thoughts on civil engineering? If there's any engineering you should go into, it's software engineering, purely based off the amount of jobs, the job growth, and the salary. Did I do a boot camp? No. Yo, when is Free Code Camp's new stuff coming out? Am I planning on doing reviews of landing pages? Uh, do you have a landing page you want me to review? Is that what you're asking? And where do you recommend on viewing current trends? A lot of times, how I view current trends is I just read articles and blogs and Facebook groups to see what's trending. And then if I really want to see the market, I just go and look on LinkedIn. I looked on ZipRecruiter, see what jobs are out there and what they're paying and what they're looking for, and go from there. But that's really it. I hate computer science. Should I just suck it up and go into software engineering? Uh, I mean, I wouldn't want to tell you to do anything you hate. Usually, that's a bad idea. Respect within an organization. Example: quality assurance gets paid more than a developer. That doesn't sound fair. No offense to anyone, but that's just an opinion. That's a very that's a very unlikely situation. Most quality assurance developers don't get paid more than an actual developer. Um, how do you learn new programming language? code every day and build things. That's really it. Do tutorials, build those projects in the tutorials, go on off and build your own. I really like web development, but I think I'm going in criminal justice and on my own time do web development. Okay. Is software engineering the only safe job out there? No, but it's one of the few. There are other safe jobs out there, but it is one of the few. What's your opinion on the Chingu cohorts, if you've heard of them? I have not. I have no idea what that is or what's going on with it. BattleBots was fun, man. I didn't watch the new season. I know they brought the show back, but I used to watch it on Comedy Central. Probably when I was some of your guys' age, some of the younger guys, when I was like 12, 13, 14 in middle school. Have a good one, Murali. Murali Krishna Ratatali Venkata. Have a good night. What's your opinion on learning Java in 2018? Just like anything else, you're going to work with a large multinational corporation. You're going to get paid very well, but then on a side note, you have to work in Java. Why is the stream so late? I just can't sleep. So what other safe jobs are out there other than software engineering? I just hate sitting in front of a computer 7 hours straight and then yelling when it doesn't work. I wish I got to sit at a computer for 7 hours straight. Actually, I do sit. Nursing, medical, any medical field is a good industry to get into as well. There are, if you're trying to stay, you can also do project management, which is another good field, which is in tech and software. So I don't know if you're trying to stay away from software or tech, but it's a much more social aspect. Business analyst, same thing. The best course I've ever taken on JavaScript? Well, this may surprise you, but besides the Angular 4 course I took from Traversity Media, I haven't taken any JavaScript courses, except the stuff on Free Code Camp. Everything else has just been YouTube videos and me building stuff. Do you think it is ethical to edit existing code to use in a beginning portfolio before creating from scratch? Yes, I do. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Can I please describe a day as a software engineer? Kind of depends, man. So every job is different, but a lot of times it's you go into the office, you answer your emails, you handle any sort of initial feedback that you need to give back. You kind of look at how your day is going. You and again, every job is different, but you do your stand up, which is where you kind of meet with your team and discuss what you're going to be working on. And then from there, you dive into your projects. If you're blocked by anything, you go and try to get it unblocked, right? You talk with your team members. Hey, man, I need some back end work. Hook a brother up with an API, And then they say, someone might come, hey, man, I need some front end work. Hook a brother up with some bug fixes, right? And you're like, yeah, sure, no problem, right? So you might go and wheel and deal a little bit. And then from there, you might have some meetings where you're meeting with the entire department. You might have some meetings where you're meeting with your team to deep dive into more requirements. It really just depends, man. They all talk like Coding Face. No, I assure you, none of them do. Eric just sent me another email rather. The other day, Eric sent me an email, apparently of him making fun of or talking shit in a video about Eric using the term crash course in a title of his Vue crash course. I don't know what that guy's deal with Eric is and why he likes to pick on him. It's unfortunate. But yeah, so anyhow, you might be, it depends where you're at in your project and if you're a full stack front end, but you might be still gathering requirements and you need to talk with some people. But most of the time, you're probably just coding something out. You have the requirements and you're building out whatever it is they want. And you're going back and forth a little bit when you get to a good milestone. Hey, this is what I got. How's this look? All right, cool. Or hey, I was thinking that we could do this. What do you think? Or what about adding this feature, that feature, and going from there. But again, it's so hard to break it down. But the gist of it is you have meetings, you talk with people, you work with people, you code, and sometimes you pair program, sometimes you don't, and kind of you go from there. Do you make mostly websites? I make a lot of CRUD tools that will be used by microservices for the organization. I make a lot of admin tools. I'm not building like websites for Joe Schmo's auto shop, if that's what you mean. Using Bootstrap 3 or 4 is bad? No. I use Bootstrap 4. I used it today. Although I'm trying to get better at CSS myself. That'll probably be the main thing that you have issues with down the road. Pear, as in P-A-I-R, not P-E-A-R, as in the fruit. But yeah, I'll definitely explain what pair programming is. I don't know if you're trying to be funny or if you really meant. And I'm not making fun of you if English isn't your first language, but what is the best way to get laid off and qualify for unemployment benefits? I have no idea, man. I've never been fired a day in my life from anything. I have a coding competition, how to practice. I don't know, man. I would honestly just, if you have a coding competition tomorrow, just chill out for a minute so you go in fresh. People say that React and Node.js is a hot thing, but every YouTuber I see is learning Angular and PHP. It just kind of depends, man. I know that PHP is big, Angular's big, React's big. Node is not as big as PHP, that's for sure, just based off the job. I think Node and Node is a wonderful backend, and I love it, but it's definitely in terms of amount of jobs not as big as PHP or anything else. So CRUD refers to create, read, update, delete. These are kind of the 4 main HTTP verbs, and that create, that would be your post call, read would be your get call, update would be your put call, and delete would be your delete call. And so when you're talking about CRUD tools, you're essentially talking about creating an admin set of tools that has CRUD, that has all 4 of those built out. That's really what CRUD means. Can you explain pair programming? So pair programming is where you essentially you have 2 developers sitting side by side, sort of working on the same project. One person may be actually typing the code and the other one's leading or vice versa. I code on a PC. I like my PC. I've always worked on a PC. I'm sick of the Mac hype train. That's really it. I have no plans of moving to Linux unless I have to or I think it'd be good for my career. I've just always had Windows, man. I've always liked it, except Vista and Windows 8. We can all agree that those needed to die. um, so, have I ever had to store a CSV file into Mongo? I think I stored a image file, but I don't believe I stored a CSV file. No. What is my daily laptop? I have a shitty old laptop. It's something that I actually really want to replace, and maybe when April gets a job, I'll treat myself. I use Visual Studio Code. Any advice on trades? My advice when it comes to buying stocks is to learn early on and just sort of get started. Really, a lot of times people wait so late in life to start saving and investing, and honestly, I think the best time to invest is when the sooner you can, and that may be when you don't have the least amount of money. The reason for it is you have the least to lose, and so you may want to educate yourself, even if you end up taking a loss early on. Does anyone use Opera for their web browser? God, I hope not. Any advice on learning mobile web development? No, I really don't. I would advise web development over mobile, though. I think there's probably more jobs. Oh, trade as in trade skills. I would say this isn't John Smith. This isn't something that I know a whole lot about, but if I were to do a trade school that wasn't to stay away from the software realm, I'd probably go in the electrician route just because I've known a couple of electricians and a lot of times it is something that gets paid very well. There's always going to be a demand for it. And I think that would be, and it's respected. And I think that would be, of the sort of stuff that you mentioned, probably the best route to go. But again, I'm not an expert in this, but that's just that would be what I would look into if I was looking into that. What is your fitness state? Death. Uh, I am currently in the worst shape of my life, and I'm planning on changing that. Yeah, it's something that I am working towards. I really do want to get like in super great shape because when I was in shape, man, I felt so good, mentally, physically. Zumba, maybe. I'm going to the gym tomorrow. I was I was joking with April that I was gonna bring this into my work. I was gonna bring the diffuser into my work and just have it start blasting in the office. Uh, should become a power lifter. Hey, maybe wouldn't be a bad idea. All right, guys. It's getting late. I should probably try and fall asleep. It's about 2 a.m. My time right now. Unfortunately, with the way that my live streams have been going, this will get demonetized, but I will continue to do them all the same, as I appreciate being able to I appreciate the support you guys give me by just watching my videos in general. And I'm going to continue to try and provide good content. Normally, I try to have a more excited exit than this, but I'm getting tired. So, I will leave you with a quick final thought. As I like to end my videos with final thoughts for this late night, early morning edition of our Saturday Weekly. That I've talked a little bit about getting my fitness back on track, getting back in shape. And sometimes it's hard to forget that we are mind, body, and soul, right? And we focus so much on the mind, right? We focus so much on. Why is my girlfriend up right now? Do you guys see this nonsense? April over here is creeping from in bed. Baby, go back to sleep. Oh my goodness. We're definitely not going right now, April. Anyhow, so what I'm trying to say is, it's very easy to get caught up in software about just the mind, right? We just need to learn. We need to study and focus on the mind. And sometimes we forget to get a little bit about the soul. Sometimes we forget about the body. And we forget that they all need to be in sync, right? So what needs to happen is when you get them all in sync, everything else works better. And so that's really what's going to happen by me exercising and working out and getting back in shape. I will think clearer. I will think more crisply, and I will continue to become a better developer. It just means in the short term, I have to sort of change my mannerisms to get back to that point. So just a reminder to kind of try and maintain yourself as you devote your mind entirely to give some time for your body. So I appreciate you guys all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. And as always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, support me on Patreon, all that good stuff. I am going to bed and definitely not to the gym at 2 a.m. like this crazy woman says.